This is Kendra back with USTV. Y'all know me. Once I get started, I can't stop. And so this is a video about Candace Owens. Now, I ain't that big of a fan of Candace Owens myself. I don't like her. I feel like she is the black person who does not realize or does realize she has a lot of self-hate. She's very prejudiced against her own people. She bought into the ideology of foreign, aka white supremacy, and she thinks less of herself. She doesn't know that she maybe not be fully aware or cognitive, and she's a very smart woman. But, even smart people can be not wise. She's not aware that she is prejudiced against her own people. At least she seems to act as if she's not aware. But in everything and all that she do, her rejection of her community shows, and it shows that she is insecure about being a so-called black woman. She's insecure about it. She doesn't like it, and she bought into the ideology of it. And so what I wanted to talk about isn't particularly that. It is more or less they're talking about how she said a good one. She believed that black fathers should be in the homes of their kids, and I agree. But they said she's a hypocrite because she can't possibly believe that because she married a white man, which makes her a hypocrite. So I said, so I was like, well, they can't get mad at her because black men do it all the time. Black men. There are so many so-called pro-black men who be like, I'm pro-black, who fathers and wife every other woman outside their race. The term queen was a term of endearment for black women, right? And then now anybody, and everybody's a queen now. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Of course now, it was a term of endearment just for black women. But now that black men, because just like Candace Owens, they bought into this white ideology that they're not good, that there's nothing good about a fully black child or being a fully black person. This is not all black men, and this is also not all black women. I'm just speaking on the people who are like Candace Owens, men and women. And so they bought into the ideology that they're not good enough, that their blackness is unattractive or not good enough. They want their children to have straight hair, blonde hair. They're not good enough in their own eyes. And so they bought into this ideology and they marry based on it. So they're marrying and getting into relationships with their insecurity. You know what I mean? They're not getting into these relationships because they actually love any of these white women, because that's a fact. It is not even a fetish. It is something that eases the insecurity about their blackness in them that makes them date outside their race. I'm good enough because I got that white man. See, I got that white woman. You know what I mean? Look at my babies. So I can't hold Candace Owens, is what I was saying. I can't hold her. I can't try to check her no more than I do the black men who walk around calling they Filipino, Chinese, and Mongolian and white wives queens. You know what I'm saying? Black men be like, I believe that black fathers should be in a home of black children because ain't my kids black like me? Your kids are mixed race. Shut up. You're a hypocrite. You and this is what I wanted to say. I don't hold her. Because a black man that dates outside his race and then he goes, well, I father all my kids here because they're mixed race is popular. Of course you do. Of course you do. What you would have it no way but to show up walking around with a white trophy baby. That's your trophy. It's no different from when the white women in Hollywood were going and getting the black babies from Africa. It's popularity based. So you're doing things for acceptance. You're not even doing it because you actually love the kid. I'm not saying some of you don't love your children, but I'm saying that the reason for what you did had nothing to do with love. Had nothing to do with you loving the white woman. It had nothing to do with you loving the white man. Had nothing to do with either one of them loving y'all. It was popularity based. It's because it's the fad. It's the new thing to do. And so a lot of times, and it's a lot of self-hate involved, period. And so I can't hold Candace because I watch black men walk around with mixed race children like it's a badge of honor. Like you just defeated or conquered something. What did you conquer? Having a white child? That was the goal? Like, I'm missing it. So when I see these black women, I see some of these black women who have these white babies, and they be like, people don't even think my baby is mine, and they be so happy. Why are you happy about that? Why is this a thing? Why are we happy about stuff that are so silly? Like, I don't know, but if y'all understand how I feel when I say that, when I express it, I don't know what to think. I'm shocked and yet appalled at the idea that thrills you. Like, what is it in you that feels so inadequate that you need to have that type of... This is why you affirm your children. When you do not affirm children early in life, they do a lot of things for affirmation, even unbeknownst to themselves. Now, I'm not saying interracial relationships, people are not capable of loving each other from different backgrounds. That's not what I'm saying, right? It's possible for anybody to love anybody, especially if you educate yourself and you see that person as a person, and understand that there's good, bad, and indifference and ugly in everybody. No matter what race or hue of complexion or hair textures or features or nationalities or anything else of that nature. If you can understand that people are people and, you know, there's good and bad and you date outside your race, it's whatever, right? But oftentimes, these black men, preferably, who date outside their race, you know, this reminds me of the Bible, when the Bible had told the Hebrew men, don't date outside your race, because if you date outside your race, you will, you know, you'll be led astray and follow the gods of the women that you lay with. So it gave me a revelation that a lot of black men who are supposed to be the men, you know how they say the man is supposed to wear the pants, but I feel like a lot of times the men are supposed to bring the women into submission. And I feel like a lot of black men, when they date outside their race, a lot of times they're brought into the submission of their wives, the women that the mixed race, the other races of women that they date. The children no longer are black because they're raised by a white mother who the father does not teach the black, not even that they're black, because they're not black, but you know what I mean, the so-called black person. They don't teach the proper history. They don't teach these children about the side of their fathers that is so-called black. And if they do, they teach it in a way to make the child look at the brown side as inferior, and then look at the pink side, or the white side, if you will, as being superior. So oftentimes the children are confused. And especially when you have a black father and a white, or a black father and an Asian, or a black father and a Hispanic, or a black father and a Hindu relationship. And so a lot of times I feel like the black man comes into subjection to the white woman and her ideology, because oftentimes they don't teach their children anything about their blackness. So for them to try to talk about Candace Owens is hypocritical, because she did exactly what most of y'all do. She herself, based on her own insecurity and inferiority complex about being black, she went and got her a white man. I don't know why, because she didn't have a good experience with white folk. From what I heard about her high school years and her childhood, I said, well, I don't know what made her. That's why I knew that's why I knew it had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that she just found this man and fell in love. It had more to do with, she bought into the idea of so-called foreign or white supremacy of black people. She thought less, because if it wasn't for the demon within, the demon without could do no harm. So inside of her, she already felt inadequate being a brown-skinned woman. She already felt not good enough. She didn't answer those questions with the same zeal that she does on her own channel, because she was afraid of what would be asked, and if there would be any type of... She couldn't answer those in somebody's face. That's the truth. and say this is the silliness that she says. You know what I mean? I have family that's like that. They have a prejudice, against their own people. Their bad experience. They know white people. And it's how a lot of black people who do have that prejudice with their own race justify it. They be like, yeah, well, we know white people gonna treat us bad, but our own people. And that's how they justify their own prejudice against it. What do you mean, but your own people? White people go through stuff with their own people. Asian people go through stuff with their own people. Africans go through stuff with their own people. Every race has an issue with their own people and within the confines of their own country. Even within mixed communities, you live more close. The closest get the most for the reason. So whomever you are around will, reap the good or bad, things in society of their people group. You know what I mean? If I'm making sense. So that's why when I heard what's his name back in the day when Nick Cannon said there's no such thing as black on black crime, that's why I firmly agree on that, because the closest get the most. If you got somebody evil within the confines of your community, you got bad people in it doing bad things, he's going to do it to everybody that is around him. It is not a justification, it's just a reality, right? So if you got a bad group of people in a white neighborhood and everybody's white, that white man is going to do evil in his community of those who look like him. Same thing with Asian. If you got bad people in Asian communities and the bad people are Asian, what's going to happen? Those Asians around him that look like him are going to reap the fruit of the badness of the people, if that makes sense. I didn't know how to articulate it, but you get what I mean. So I don't hold Candace Owens because I don't care for her. I don't like Candace Owens, not as a person because I don't know her. I don't like what she stands for. I like some of what she says is great, but the overall character and what she said and what she says and how she presents things, I don't like it. I don't care for it. I feel like it's very hypocritical. I feel like she's coming from a bias based on the fact that she feels inferior and she's insecure about her blackness. I feel like we don't represent us then. Don't have nothing to say. If you're not, I want somebody who actually love our people to speak on our people. You know what I mean? And we are one human race. This isn't to dissect and make anybody outcast or nothing. This is just me stating a fact within the confines of every race. Within the confines of my race. And me just, it's not to exclude anybody, but we're specifically talking about our race. And the simple fact that Candace Owens is not a good representation of us as a people. I don't like anybody who think like Candace Owens, because I'm a liberal. I don't care. Liberal, left wing, white, right wing, Democrat, Republican, independent, all of them are a part of the same bird. And the bird is crashing and burning. And they all going with it. I don't want to hear nothing about left wing, right wing, liberals, any of that. It's all crap. They all work for the same enterprise. They all work for the same government, the same company, whatever. It's all the same BS. It's a minstrel show turned on its ear. All this woman is doing is perpetuating racism, and they're just using blackface to do it. She is another blackface caricature. She's a white woman who put on blackface without actually having to put on the makeup and put on the whole suit. You get what I mean? How can you have a white supremacist stance when you're a black woman? Only way you can take that stance is if you yourself feel inferior and insecure about your blackness. A lot of what she say I don't agree with. I agree that black fathers need to be in the homes of black children just like black mothers need to be in the home of fully black children. I wrote under this post in this video saying a lot of y'all black men keep saying, yeah, I take care of my kids. Of course you do. Again, you take care of your mixed children. But where were the fathers for the fully black children? Not saying that this is all of y'all, but this is a great deal of y'all who don't take care of black, fully Negro, fully American Indian children. You don't. You take care of your mixed kids. And some of y'all don't even take care of your mixed, or some of y'all don't take care of nobody. Got all them kids and don't take care of them. But both men and women. But anyway, back to the point. I don't want to hold her if I ain't gonna hold him. Because she's the same hypocrite as the black man that dates the white woman, that dates the Asian woman, and say, oh, that's my queen. She my queen. You get what I mean? Come on now. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. So we can't hold her if we ain't holding black men. Period. Anyway, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to this man's video. I don't want to get demonetized or whatever they do when you see somebody else's video. I ain't play it. I just showed the video. Anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe, stay up, stay blessed. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye. Because y'all know me. I will go on